Congratulations on finishing your first film. Now it's time to get an eye on IMDb. So over the course of these next couple of minutes, I'm gonna show you exactly how to add your film to IMDb, credit yourself, all of your crew members, and make sure it's official so you'll have a whole record of everything you've ever created. Let's get started. Well, thank you for stopping into my studio. My name is Jerry. I'm a filmmaker and educator. I've made 3 feature films. I've added a lot of films to IMDb over the last 20 years, and today I'm gonna show you how to do the exact same thing. So let's get started. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the Contributor Zone on IMDb. It is a little complicated, and the reason I think that they do that is so people aren't just adding random things to IMDb. So I'm gonna drop this link down into the description so you can follow along and be able to do everything at the same time. I'm also gonna show you everything inside of IMDb, where these things are hidden, and that way it'll get you into there. So we're in the Contributor Zone right now, and you'll see that there's an introduction and a thanks from the CEO, and you'll see that there's a button that says Contributor Zone right here. So we're gonna press on that. And then we need to learn how to add a new title. So today I'm gonna add one of my experimental films that I have not added to IMDb, I realize. So we're gonna add my experimental film, Home Movies. It's been in a couple of festivals, and get it onto here. So I'm gonna go to add a new title. Once you're into this add a new title, it's just gonna ask you a bunch of questions about your film. Keep in mind that you are gonna have something that proves your film is available somewhere. So what that basically means is, can you watch it somewhere? Is it in a festival? Do you have a website that talks about it? Basically, you just need somebody else to be talking about it besides yourself. So we're gonna go through that. So I'm gonna title my movie, Home Movies, that's the name of it. And it is a film. It has been released and screened, and it's available to the public, and then I am the producer, director, or writer. You can also see that I'm a member of the cast and crew, so if you worked on a project and nobody's put it up yet, you could just add the film if you wanted to. I would run that by the producers and make sure. Sometimes they don't want their films on there before festivals and things like that, so make sure that you're falling into those. But I am going to be a producer, director, writer today. So I'm gonna check these updates. Every time you press through this, you're gonna see that it's gonna highlight things that you may need to take care of again. So we're gonna look at that. This is a short subject, and the year that it was finished was in 2021. It was a couple years ago, and basically make sure that you're putting the year that it was released first as your year. And the reason we wanna do that is to make sure that there's not a conflicting there might be another project named Home Movies at some point. So I'm gonna check these updates. And boom, we're to the next level here. So it says your title has some warnings you must acknowledge each before it goes on. And basically it's gonna ask me, are any of these films your film? And so we're gonna look through here, make sure somebody hasn't added it in here at some point. So this is not an existing title. So we're gonna recheck these updates. Basically, somebody might have added it at some point. You might have gotten a review on a film and it might have been put up there. So it needs some more things here. And so if it's gonna ask me here, additional information required. So I need some identifying information. And so we're gonna go through here really quick. So tips for release dates, my USA release date, and that was going to be, let's go in here. I think you can just take a guess on the day if you don't know. And then I released it somewhere in July of 2021, I believe. So it was on a streaming service for free or paid. You can watch it on YouTube. You don't have to have your films completely paid for. You could just give them away on YouTube. You could put them on Vimeo, as long as there's somewhere that it can go and you can see it. So now we're gonna have an action item. We need a URL. And I'm gonna put film screen. Let's go with this official link. So we're gonna go into my IMDb or into my YouTube here, and we're gonna find that video. So we're gonna go to YouTube. I'm gonna go into my channel. I'm gonna scroll down into my videos, and I'm just gonna type in Home Movies so it'll pop up really quick. There's a lot of videos in here. And now I need to grab my link. So once you have that link, you're gonna go back into IMDb and you're gonna drop the URL in there, and there you go. And then it's gonna ask me a couple of other things. So what country was the film made in? For the production company. So in the USA, in languages, it's in English, it's in black and white and color. So I'm gonna put it as, I'm just gonna put it as color because there is color and black and white in it. And then it's an experimental film, and I don't know if that's gonna actually be in here. So we're gonna go look somewhere down towards the bottom and see what we can find here. So I'm just gonna put it as a short film because it doesn't say anything about an experimental film. And then my name for Jerry J. White III. And you're gonna see the director of the horror, and I'm gonna go director. There we go. And then the production information. This was basically like $100. You can also leave some of these things out if you'd like. And then official sites, this is gonna be your website or whatever you want to put in there. So it might be your YouTube, it might be your official website. I'm gonna put production company official site because I want people to know that. And then it is distributed by me. So you can see here that I already have some things that are in there. So gonna be worldwide, 2001. And then it will be all media. I have all of the copyrights and all the distributions on that. Also, it's gonna be Bronson Creative, is gonna be my production company. And then cast, there was nobody in there, except for, actually there was one person in there. There's no self. It was experimental, so there wasn't really a writer per se. I'm going to be the producer. I'm going to be the cinematographer. I was the editor. And so we have all of those things in there. The composer was also me on this one. I made all of the music and all of the things that were going on with it. And then you can add whatever else you want in there. I'm just going to add a few things so you can see how all of this works. So now it's going to ask me some more questions here. Anything that's green we know is good. The rest of the things we need to add here. So this item has been rejected. You need to correct this item before it is in order. Some required films were not filmed in order. So I'm gonna put 1 there. Boom, 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 boom. And here we go, cast. So Charles Parks was in this. And so we'll have to, so each time you kind of add something, it's going to regenerate it here. And then we need to find Charles Parks, which was also in Seize the Carp. And so, let me see if I can find that really quick. Might have to fix that at another time. We're gonna cancel this credit for now. I gotta find how his name was spelled in there. So myself, boom, boom, producers, Jerry J. White III, executive producer, composer was also me. So if you're making a film completely on your own, you might have a lot of these things that are just you. So cinematographer was also me. Director of photography, editor was also me. So when you're looking at your film and trying to get your film onto IMDb, you're gonna want to make sure that you have as much of the information as you can at first. You also don't have to have everything, so you could come back to this and you could update it and you could reconfigure it as many times as you like. And so now we're looking, do we have all green? We have all green except for this really quick. And so let me see. This is the first credit in this section for me. That is true. I've never done that before. Recheck these updates. Okay, so now we should have everything in green. So now everything is in there. We're gonna press submit these updates. Okay, so now you've submitted your updates. You're going to be able to wait a couple of days, and once you wait for your data to come back, it's gonna ask you any follow-up questions, and then you will see your film on IMDb as long as you had everything filled out correctly. So just make sure that if your film is available to watch somewhere, it doesn't need to be in a festival, it doesn't need to be anything special, it could just be online. As long as there's a place to actually go look for it, then you should be able to get through smoothly. If you have any questions, anything that wasn't clear, make sure you drop them down in the comments. I'll be glad to help. And then make sure to stop by, check out the other videos on this channel, including the creative process where we create in real time. I hope you have a wonderful day, do something kind for somebody else, and I will see you next time. Best of luck with your film.